The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today as the Knicks come back with a vengeance after being down in the first half as they beat the Jazz 134-117. Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Pito here in Utah. So the Knicks were down by 18 points in the first half. After the first quarter, they were down 41-26. You do the arithmetic from the beginning of the second quarter to the rest of the game. The Knicks outscored Utah 108-76. Keontae George was playing really well. He's one of Utah's go-to players. Hurt his hammy, it looked like, about halfway through the third quarter. And Utah at that point had the lead. But once he came out of the game, it was lights out for Utah. The Jazz had 14 threes in the first half. That's the most threes the Knicks have allowed in any half this year. But in the second half, Utah made only 4 threes. So that was also important to the Knicks comeback win. And the headline, Jordan Clarkson makes his return to Utah in style. His best game as a Knick with 27 points. Went 10 of 15 from the floor. I asked him earlier tonight, what's it like to be back in Utah? He said, it's great. I just wish I could get to my house. I can't get back to my house because I rented it out. Well, he can go anywhere he wants tonight because he came back to Utah. He was so warmly received, had a really nice tribute from the Utah team and the reception from the home crowd, and he got his opportunity here. No Josh Hart tonight, out with a sore knee, so Clarkson's playing time increased, and boy, did he make the most of it. Again, his best game as a Knick with the 27 points. Breathe like a winner, presented by Blue Air. 10 of 15 from the floor, 3 of 5 from downtown, 5 rebounds, 4 on the offensive end, and 3 assists. So Jordan Clarkson, Mike and Monica, returns to Utah in style, and the Knicks come back, and they're able to beat the pesky Utah Jazz 134-117.
All right, Bill, and Bill has given Jordan Clarkson permission to go anywhere he wants tonight, even though he can't go back to his home. Bill, you can go anywhere you want as well tonight. Meanwhile, obviously this could have been a horrible, horrible loss, but the Knicks, came out strong in that second half, led by Jalen Brunson. Brunson 1 of 8 in the first half, 6 of 8 in the second half, had 18 points and 5 assists just in the second half, and they needed that because this would have been a rough one to explain after the 2 losses in L.A.
Oh, my goodness, Mike. I can only imagine because everybody knows that all eyes are on what's happening with the New York Knicks in terms of how they're playing basketball. But I like the fact that Jalen Brunson found his way and had a very efficient second half, and he did it with the variety that we are accustomed to. He got going from the three-point line, but he was also able to get into the paint and show some of these youngins what it means to defend a guy of his caliber, making some trips to the free throw line. Tonight, in fact, he was 10 of 11 as far as free throws are concerned, and I think that was important for keeping him in rhythm, even though he started knocking down his field goals in the second half. But all in all, I thought this team showed a level of poise after what we all acknowledged was a very sluggish start.
Listen, this team has had its ups and downs. Certain stretches, they had that 2-9 stretch, then they go 15-4, and now a little bit of inconsistent play. It's all part of an 82-game season. The ebb and flow. You can't overreact to great stretches. You can't overreact to rough patches because it's all about still growing. This team still is growing in terms of where their strengths are, how they're being defended now, and there's still some work to be done in the final 15 games.
The ebbs and flows you mentioned are exactly what Mike Brown talks about in terms of teams growing and preparing for a postseason, right? Like, you don't grow when everything's great. You grow more when you've been challenged and you see some areas of weakness. And so I think, all things considered, back at even on this road trip, one more game against a team who they 0-1 to in the Indiana Pacers from what they were able to do back at the Garden. Like, I feel like their heads are in the right place to close this thing out.
And they got the one more game coming up in Indiana, and that's, of course, coming up on Friday night as we go back to our man, Bill Pito.
Okay, Mike and Monica, thank you. Mike Brown's post-game comments. He's in a lot better mood after this game than he was after the first quarter and after the first half. That is for sure. We'll hear from the Knicks coach when we come back as we continue here on our Tri-State Audi postgame show. We continue now from the corner 3 presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. So the Knicks wrap up this 5-game road trip Friday night. They're at the Pacers. We'll see you for the pregame at 7 and the game at 7:30. Let's now listen into Mike Brown's postgame comments, as always, presented by Chase.
Man, really good comeback win, or a way to find a win on the road. And, especially after the 2 games in L.A., for us to be able to find a way like we did tonight, I applaud our guys. I don't know, again, I'm not taking anything away from Utah. They're a young team and played hard, especially to start the game. But you know, we had turnovers that are uncharacteristic of this team. At least, no, not in the last 3 games, you know, but for the long haul, and you know, in the first half, and we had 8 turnovers for 14 points, and again, a lot of them were unforced. A lot of those turnouts led to easy baskets in transition. For Utah, they had 27. The way we calculate, 27 fast break points in that first half. We cleaned both those areas up at halftime. You know, we had 4 turnovers in the second half, giving up 4 points, and then we gave up 5 fast break points, and that was the difference in the game. We gave ourselves an opportunity to shoot the basketball, and when we did shoot the ball, obviously it went in. Jordan Clarkson was huge for us, and we had a lot of guys played the right way in the second half, including Jalen, but Clarkson kept us in the game when we were down, and then definitely helped us get over the hump with the performance he had. And you know, on top of the 27 points, he had 5 offensive rebounds, and that helped slow their transition game down. So he was our defensive player of the game. But just a whale of a game by Jordan in a lot of different areas. His physicality, too, on the ball was good. He just gave us a spark on both ends of the floor. But, again, I applaud our guys for finding a way to get a win tonight.
How cool was it to get that performance from Jordan, you know, coming back to Utah, gets the video tribute, and for him to just do what he did today? How cool was that?
Man, it is awesome, and you know, I mean, I don't know the Jazz organization. I don't really know the owner. You know, obviously had Danny Ainge and Will. I know those guys, but for them to play that video, that was awesome. That was unexpected by me. I don't know if Jordan knew about it, but it was just a cool touch. And then for him to go out and perform the way he did, you know, you couldn't ask for anything better. And it just says a lot about him, because it wasn't like he played the last 6 minutes. I mean, we needed him, and it goes to show that he's keeping not just his body right, but his mind is in a good spot to be able to go out and do that in a game when you're down 20, you know, in the first half. So just to see that, you couldn't ask for anything better, especially from him, who's a veteran, who hasn't been playing or in the rotation, and all of a sudden we need him. And it was funny because Mo Cheeks been, all my guys have been awesome, but Mo said to me earlier today, he said, we got to find a way to throw Jordan in the game because he can have a big one for us tonight. We may need it. And Mo, he's the prophet. He was right on target with it. We needed it. We needed every single thing that Jordan Clarkson brought to the table tonight.
All right, time now for our thrilling moment presented by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Jalen Brunson animated after that one. He had 18 of his 28 in the second half, went 6 of 8 from the floor in the second half. Knicks blow out the Jazz, 134-117.